Wow. Hands up, all those that predicted that we would win 3-0 against the leaders in the Bundesliga. No, not many. Wow. Well, great result. Great result. Sadly for me, I wasn't able to go to the game last night. So I did, like lots of other people had to do, was watch it on a stream. And I have to say, credit where credit's due. Those guys that were there last night, what an atmosphere. Even listening to it through my headphones, you could hear so much passion and so much enthusiasm right from the start, right from the get-go. It didn't just come on once we scored. It was all done. So I got to say, big shout out to all those guys that were there last night. I know my friends at South Dorset Spurs were all there in numbers. I saw a couple of them on the TV, and I'm sure they would have been singing and shouting and that as well. Daryl as well, up in 251, I think we usually sit. Big shout out to you as well, because I know that your voice is very croaky this morning. So, first thing to say, great atmosphere, well done all those people that were there last night. Absolutely fantastic, really showed, and it actually does show what a difference fans at the ground actually make. So congratulations on that, really good. In terms of the performance, I have to say, it just baffles me sometimes when I watch and read comments on Twitter and all that, and I kind of get to the point where I think to myself, are these people saying this just for something to say? Because the negativity around the first half was astounding. I kind of look at it and think, I don't know what your point is. But hey, it is all about opinions. I've said it before. It's all about opinions, and everybody has different opinions. My opinion was the first half weren't bad. Hugo Lloris's save, outstanding, and that is why he is one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League. He might not be the best, and he has his faults. God knows I've called out his kicking is a bit of a worry, and we all get a bit edgy when we're playing out from the back. But in terms of his shot stopping, you know, he's up there. He's up there with the rest of them. The rest of the top goalkeepers, certainly in the Premier League. I have to give a bit of a shout out as well to Juan Foyth, who, okay, he gave the ball away a couple of times, a couple of edgy moments there, and I thought, oh, really? It's a bit of a worry. But I could see what he was doing, because he'd done it before he'd given the ball away those couple of times. He'd actually turned the attacking players inside out. Really professionally, played the ball out, and it was fantastic. And I have to say, you know, the confidence of the boy is outstanding. You know, he clearly believes in himself, and he clearly believes in his ability. He's going to make mistakes, and I get that. But overall, you know, the calling out that I was seeing of him, I was astounded. Yeah, everyone makes mistakes. Nothing happened, nothing came of it. They didn't score, so why really get that upset about it? Okay, he's made a mistake. We move on. The little run up the right wing as well. He played with Sissoko. Again, fantastic vision. You know, to play that. He took that ball, took it up there, played it on. Little back flick from Sissoko, and he was away. Put in a great cross. Unfortunately, you know, it didn't get to Eriksen well enough for him to plant it. But you know, the vision and the attitude and the willingness to show for the team, and play for it, I thought was really, really good and lovely to see. So talking of Sissoko again, he just goes from strength to strength. I mean, his ability in the midfield to drive forward was brilliant to see. He was gliding past players like he was Moussa Dembele, not Moussa Sissoko. He was just gliding past people. In his strength and his determination was clear. And I'd really love to get inside that guy's head to find out, how has he done that? How has he managed to turn that around? Is that through the confidence of the manager, and the confidence of the team? Because you really do see a lot of support for each other. I wrote on Twitter the other day when Chelsea were playing. I can't think who they were playing now, but they were winning and they were banging goals in. And but the attitude of the players as the other players scored was like, yeah, scored, yeah, whatever. But with every single one of our players, you can see how happy it makes the team to see the players, score. So for me, I think a key element of that is the attitude of and the togetherness of the group, and the confidence that clearly Pochettino puts in them as players. Again, it was really good to see him turn that around from where he was and what he was getting. The stick he was getting was unbelievable. So, to see him where he is now, he's almost one of the first names on the sheet, and it's amazing. It's amazing. So it would be really interesting to actually sit down with him and find out what's key to that. But as I say, it wouldn't surprise me if the key to that wasn't the managerial abilities of Pochettino. Another one as well who, going into the second half now, I guess, touching on the goals, Llorente coming off the bench and banging that header in. You could just see what that meant to him. The way he ran over to the fans, he ran over to the edge of the stands there, and I know they've got the sheeting that stops the fans getting close and all that sort of stuff, but you could just see what it meant to him, and to see all the other players jumping on him and really going for it says to me that they're as keen for him to score as he is to score. And it was the icing on the cake. Great header, he muscled him out and got what he deserved from it. So, you can't complain at that. What else are we asking for from a guy who's played 2 minutes here, 2 minutes there, 10 minutes here? The occasional cup game. What can you expect from him? I've always said that he needs time and a run in the team to be able to do what we want from him, which is to score some goals and get some assists. And over this period where Kane and Ali have been out, for me, he stepped up. I personally thought he was unlucky not to be in the starting lineup. I personally feel that Mora is more of an impact player coming off the bench, but that's just my opinion. Especially when their defenders are getting tired, and that, I thought a bit of pace for him to come on. So I would have probably gone with Llorente and Sonny to start with, and then brought Mora on. But Pochettino knows what he's doing clearly, and he done what he needed to do to win the game. Sonny's goal, unbelievable. Really good to see. Nice and calm, volley off the side of his foot. I mean, class, absolute class. And if there are people out there doubting that he is the best Asian player that's ever played in the Premier League, I think you're mad. He is absolute class. And his smile, as I said on the Tottenham Hotspur family podcast, his smile has got to be worth 20 million quid of anybody's money. He is absolutely infectious with his smile, and clearly all the South Korean fans love him as well. Hello, mate. All the South Korean fans love him as well, and it brings an awful lot of revenue into the club. So, you know, it's a win-win. As much as we don't like tourists and all that, if they're coming to support the team and be part of it, then, you know, what can you do about that? So that kind of just brings me on to Jan Vertonghen. Wow, what can you say? I had a feeling that he would play on the left as a left back, purely because Rose played the previous game, and Pochettino does like to rotate all of his players, because for him it's the importance of the squad. So if you're looking at the squad, he's always going to look to move things around. Ben Davies is injured. Rose isn't 100%. Big game, lots of defensive duties. So he puts in Jan Vertonghen, who, you know, he couldn't put a foot wrong. I mean, as a defender, he done a bloody good job of attacking. You know, I saw something written about our best left back is a centre back. You know, which is, you know, quite funny. But yeah, played really well, and again, his goal sublime, and his crossing was absolutely a peach. You know, so really good to see. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed his celebration, the Super Jan. I love that. You can't not love that. And again, meant the world to him. And at the end of the game, you saw all the players coming together, all hugging each other, high-fiving, shaking hands, all the silly handshakes, all that sort of stuff. But that's all about team togetherness. That's not about being an idiot. That's about showing that you're part of the team, and you're a group all in it together. And I think that's something that Pochettino has clearly brought to the team. Togetherness has brought us this far. So all we need now is to keep believing and keep the faith, keep supporting and keep believing. Let's hope that togetherness takes us into the next round. Job half done. Up the Spurs.